Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, has emphasized the need for Nigeria to develop its human capital and infrastructure to fully harness its vast mineral resources. Honorable Kalu made this statement while delivering a lecture titled Go in Town and in Cyberspace, Sustainable and Human-Centered Education, the mandates of our universities 2025 to 2075 at the 37th convocation ceremony and 50th anniversary of the University of Calabar, Cross River State. He noted that Nigeria's educational system has traditionally prioritized territorial disciplines over practical approaches to harnessing the country's abundant natural wealth. He highlighted Nigeria's rich mineral deposits, citing the North Central region's significant reserve of thin columbites, tantalites, and barytes. He further noted that the Northwest is rich in gold, granite, and limestone, while the Northeast holds deposits of gypsum, kaolin, bentonite. Similarly, the Southwest has reserve of bitumen, feldspar, and lithium. Despite these vast resources, Honorable Kalu lamented that Nigeria remains a vast importer of many refined mineral products. He therefore advocated for universities to establish specialized faculties, collaborate with industry leaders, and offer hand-on training in mining and mineral processing to bridge the skills gap in the sector. I'd love to get your thoughts on this from Kalu, please.
Yeah, from what he said, it's not far-fetched. That's a simple truth, given the fact that Nigeria has abundance of mineral resources, which has not been properly tapped, which has not been properly looked into. Another area again, it's human capital development or human capital formation. First, we've identified these resources, mineral resources, so to say. Another thing is to see how we can know the areas or the countries that has comparative advantage of this in terms of deposit, in terms of abundant human resources. We go there and learn from them. Because once we learn from them, it will help us in the right direction. Or if we don't even go there to learn, we'll get people from that country where they go into this public-private participation. And once there's a public-private participation, part of the conditions or part of the memorandum of understanding is to see how they can also develop and train our locals within the right perspective and within the right technology so that they can also compete and work favorably to tap these things. Whether you like it or not, once these resources are there and our people are not knowledgeable in terms of it, then there's a challenge. So we send people out to go and learn, or we get public-private participation from companies where part of the memorandum of understanding will carry out these conditions, and periodically they will be assessing it to see that they are meeting up to the terms and conditions. Nigeria is blessed with abundant abundant natural resources. Apart from oil, where everybody is killing themselves, Nigeria has so many natural resources that has not been tapped.
But why do you think, if I have to cut you short there, why do you think there's so much concentration and emphasis on the oil sector and not the natural minerals?
You know, it is believed that we have so much of the oil, and they say the oil in this country is enough to go round. So that's why it's seen as a national cake. Everybody coming with a long knife to make sure that they cut a large chunk of it. But if you look at it, we have other natural resources that are untapped. All we just need to do is to think outside the box, have a change of orientation, see how we can also harness these abundant natural resources. We have a lot of them, so much that we need to train people in terms of technology so that at the end of the day they can compete. Because whether you like it or not, if there's a large deposit of natural resources in your community and you don't have an idea of it, you'll be looking at it as something that is not. But till someone who has an idea of that thing, that person will come there and tell you that this is money. And it takes someone to say this is money, then go about it the right way. That way Nigeria will benefit from the above. But whether I like it or not, Nigeria is blessed abundantly with so much mineral resources that we really need to tap into.
Okay, you've made mention of a lip service situation. It should not be something that will just come out. A statement was just made in the open and nothing is done about it. There's also a situation where the federal government decried the states that the fact that attention has not been paid to the leather industry. We also have that. There's so much resources in the country. There's just so much that we also need to invest our time and technology in. In that instance, why has okay? I know I've said that, but why have the government not intentionally? It's not about coming to make this statement. Pay attention to most of these industries, to most of these resources that we have in the country, like the dye and hide situation. Most of these animals that we consume, the skins are actually disposed, and nothing. We do not do anything with those things because we do not have the resources. We do not have the industry, functional industry facilities in order to work on them and bring something with it. Foreign countries come here to export our produce them, refine them, and bring them back to us, just like the crude situation. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, please.
Like I tell people, doing the same thing the same way and expecting a different result is just a clear definition of madness. So to say, there must be a change of approach, there must be right thinking, and there must also be investment in it. Proper investment, because first you must invest in human capital. You must also invest in making sure that those natural resources are harnessed and tapped the right way so that it could be prepared for export. Because whether I like it or not, Nigeria is so blessed that if maybe over a period of time we diversify, because most our basic problem is that we've not been able to diversify.
True.
All our attention has been the oil, the natural gas. Nobody has been able to think outside oil. Nobody has been able to sit down and say, okay, tomorrow this oil might dry up. So what will sustain Nigeria after the oil? So not until we sit down, take a proper look, think in the right direction, and also invest in terms of human capital, in terms of technology. Then when we invest in terms of human and technology, you discover that we start harnessing these resources. Also get public-private participants, even foreign technical partners to partner with us. Because once we have that foreign technical partners, it will also help. Because these are people that will come in with their money. These are people that will come in with their technology. All we just need to do is to partner with them and also leverage. Look at most of the oil companies that started in the 60s and 50s. They've all gone. They are owned by Nigerians. We've bought so many of their shares into. So I believe also if in this area of natural resources, we let foreign technical partners come in. Over time, Nigerians will also own stake in those companies.
Thank you on that. I do not want to deviate. We look at all the natural resources, the gold, the granites and all of that Kalu also emphasized on, and then like you mentioned of human resources, human capital development and technology, advanced technology, because we know that there are some technologies that they can actually use to detect where most of these natural resources are being found in sites where you can actually get them, like the gold. You cannot really state what parts you need to dig in to actually get that. You need the technology, the right ones, to actually detect all of that. Do you think we have come to that stage to invest in this? Because you stated it's an act of investment, and to me I feel it's an intentional act. It's something that we need to come to that decision and say, okay, we want to pay attention to this part of the sector in the country. Do you think that, aside the fact that statements have been made here, do you think we have literally come to that realization that we really want to invest in natural resources in the country?
We have not really come to that. We have not taken that decision. And I don't know why we're still groping in the dark. I don't know why the leaders, because for me, we must have a leader or leadership that will have that political will to ensure that they will pursue this to a logical conclusion. And how do you pursue things like this to a logical conclusion? If you don't have what it takes to do, you call for help, you call for partnership, you call for assistance, because there are certain things in life you cannot do it alone. That's how life is. There are so many things you cannot do alone. You need people. Even Jesus Christ, at some point when the cross was heavy for him, God sent him a helper to help him carry the cross. So whether you like it or not, at every point everyone needs a helper. So all we just need to do is to look for technical partners to come and carry out a pure feasibility studies, proper search to know where we have, like you rightly said, if you say gold now, they will dig up everywhere. But if you have the right technology, you know the right spot where you are mining, you know the right spot where you are hitting. So that way it's the right thing. So let's get foreign technical partners, companies that will come and invest. All they just need to do is to come and check if they have it in abundance here before they swing into action.
Okay, what if most of these foreign partners already have an idea about this, and these mineral resources are being sold out of the country as we speak?
Yes, they are.
Is there a possibility of something like that?
It's not really a case. Okay, let me say there are a case of sabotage, there are a case of infiltration, and a case where they also use the locals. And that's why some of these things, you cannot separate them from gun running. You cannot separate them from oppression, because they've not been really done the right way. If the government come out with the right political will, they'll provide enabling laws, they'll provide enabling environment, they'll also give them adequate security to make sure that whatever is done within the ambits and the confines of the law. But it's because government have not really diversified or given this much attention, so they are now conniving. There's a collusion between the locals and some people from outside the country who really come to steal this thing. So for me, all I care is that they steal it, because they are not taking it the right way.
Okay, so government have to come to the realization where rules and regulations, laws should be placed on that, because it's owned by the country and not individuals.